Have you ever wondered why some people seem to glow with vitality in their 70s and 80s, while others appear worn down by their 60s? The answer isn't found in expensive supplements or miracle treatments. It lies in understanding how our bodies and minds respond to specific daily practices that either accelerate or slow the aging process. The truth about healthy aging challenges everything we've been told about getting older. We've been conditioned to believe that decline is inevitable, that our best years are behind us after 50. But groundbreaking research from institutions like Harvard Medical School, the National Institute on Aging, and Stanford University reveals a different story entirely. Your biological age and your chronological age don't have to match. The choices you make today literally reprogram how your cells function, how your brain processes information, and how your body repairs itself. This isn't motivational speaking. This is hard science backed by decades of longitudinal studies tracking thousands of individuals as they age. What you're about to discover are 6 evidence-based habits that work synergistically to create what researchers call successful aging. These aren't quick fixes or temporary interventions. They're sustainable lifestyle practices that compound over time, creating a cascade of benefits that touch every aspect of your health and well-being. The most powerful part? You can start implementing these changes at any age and still see dramatic improvements. Your body has a remarkable capacity for renewal and adaptation, even in your 60s, 70s, and beyond. Now let's jump right into the top habits that are keeping people over 50 feeling young. Starting with number 1, quality sleep. Sleep isn't just downtime, it's when your body performs its most critical maintenance work. During deep sleep stages, your brain literally washes away toxic proteins associated with Alzheimer's disease through a process called the glymphatic system. This discovery, published in the journal Science, revolutionized our understanding of why sleep quality matters more as we age. Research from the University of California, Berkeley, shows that adults over 60 who consistently get 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep have 50% better memory consolidation than those who sleep poorly. But here's what most people don't realize. It's not just about duration, it's about sleep architecture. As we age, we naturally experience changes in our circadian rhythms and spend less time in deep sleep phases. The psychological impact of poor sleep creates a vicious cycle. When you're sleep deprived, your emotional regulation suffers, making you more likely to feel anxious or depressed. This emotional state then makes it harder to fall asleep the next night. Studies published in Sleep Medicine Reviews demonstrate that chronic sleep deprivation accelerates cellular aging and increases inflammation markers throughout the body. While nighttime sleep is crucial, daytime napping can actually undermine your sleep quality and overall health when done incorrectly. Research published in the American Journal of Epidemiology found that adults over 65 who napped for more than 1 hour daily had a 40% increased risk of cardiovascular disease and a 30% higher risk of all-cause mortality compared to non-nappers. Long daytime naps disrupt your natural circadian rhythm by reducing your body's sleep drive, making it harder to fall asleep at night and achieve the deep sleep phases necessary for cellular repair. A study in Alzheimer's and dementia also revealed that excessive daytime napping was associated with a 40% increased risk of developing Alzheimer's disease, possibly due to the disruption of the brain's natural waste-clearing processes that occur during nighttime sleep. Creating optimal sleep conditions requires understanding your body's natural rhythms. Your core body temperature needs to drop 2 to 3 degrees Fahrenheit to initiate sleep, which is why keeping your bedroom between 65 to 68 degrees is crucial. Light exposure in the evening suppresses melatonin production for up to 2 hours, making it essential to dim lights and avoid screens before bedtime. The National Sleep Foundation's research reveals that adults who maintain consistent sleep schedules, even on weekends, have more stable circadian rhythms and report better energy levels throughout the day. This consistency helps your body's internal clock function optimally, improving not just sleep quality but also cognitive performance, immune function, and emotional well-being. Next, habit 2, social connection. Loneliness isn't just an emotional experience. It's a physiological state that triggers chronic inflammation throughout your body. The landmark Framingham Heart Study, which has followed participants for over 70 years, found that strong social connections can increase your lifespan by up to 15 years. This effect is so powerful that researchers compare social isolation to smoking 15 cigarettes per day in terms of health impact. The science behind social connection reveals why humans are fundamentally wired for community. When you engage in meaningful social interaction, your brain releases oxytocin, often called the bonding hormone. This hormone doesn't just make you feel good, it literally strengthens your immune system, lowers blood pressure, and reduces cortisol levels. Research published in Psychoneuroendocrinology shows that socially connected individuals have 50% lower levels of inflammatory markers compared to isolated individuals. What's particularly fascinating is how social connection affects cognitive health. The Rush Memory and Aging Project, which has followed over 1,200 older adults for more than 2 decades, found that people with larger social networks had a 70% lower rate of cognitive decline. The key isn't the number of people you know, but the quality and frequency of your interactions. Digital connection can supplement but never fully replace face-to-face interaction. Studies using fMRI brain scans show that in-person conversations activate different neural pathways than phone or video calls. The full spectrum of human interaction, including subtle facial expressions, body language, and even pheromones, creates a more complete neurological response that benefits brain health. The psychological mechanism behind social connections' health benefits relates to our evolutionary past. Humans who maintain strong tribal connections were more likely to survive, so our bodies develop reward systems that reinforce social bonding. This is why volunteering, joining clubs, or simply having regular coffee dates with friends isn't just enjoyable, it's essential medicine for healthy aging. Next, habit 3, daily movement. Walking is perhaps the most underestimated longevity intervention available to us. Research published in the European Heart Journal followed 50,000 adults for over 10 years and found that those who walked just 22 minutes daily had a 30% lower risk of premature death compared to sedentary individuals. What makes this finding remarkable is that the benefits plateau at about 8,000 steps per day, making the goal achievable for most older adults. The mechanisms behind walking's health benefits operate on multiple levels simultaneously. Cardiovascular research shows that regular walking strengthens your heart muscle, improves circulation, and enhances your body's ability to use oxygen efficiently. A study in the Journal of the American Medical Association found that adults over 65 who walked regularly had a 40% lower risk of developing heart disease compared to their sedentary peers. But the neurological benefits of walking might be even more profound. Stanford University researchers discovered that walking increases creative output by an average of 60% and continues to boost creative thinking even after the walk ends. This happens because walking increases blood flow to the prefrontal cortex, the brain region responsible for executive function and creative problem solving. The psychological impact of walking extends far beyond physical fitness. Japanese researchers studying forest bathing found that walking in natural environments for just 20 minutes significantly reduces cortisol levels and activates the parasympathetic nervous system, promoting a state of calm alertness. Even urban walking provides mental health benefits, with studies showing reduced symptoms of depression and anxiety. The beauty of walking lies in its accessibility and adaptability. You don't need special equipment, gym memberships, or perfect weather. Research from the American College of Sports Medicine shows that even indoor walking, such as mall walking programs, provides significant health benefits. The key is consistency rather than intensity, making walking a sustainable habit that can continue well into your later decades. Next, habit 4. Strength training. Sarcopenia, the age-related loss of muscle mass and strength, affects up to 30% of adults over 60 and accelerates rapidly after age 75. However, research published in the Journal of Applied Physiology demonstrates that resistance training can not only halt muscle loss, but actually reverse it, even in adults over 80. This finding challenges the assumption that muscle weakness is an inevitable part of aging. The physiological benefits of strength training extend far beyond muscle building. Resistance exercise stimulates bone formation through a process called mechanotransduction, where physical stress signals bone cells to increase density. Studies published in Osteoporosis International show that adults who engage in regular strength training have 25% higher bone density than sedentary individuals, significantly reducing fracture risk. What's particularly compelling is how strength training affects brain health. Research from the University of British Columbia found that resistance training twice weekly for 6 months improved executive cognitive function in older women. The mechanism involves increased production of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, a protein that promotes neuron growth and protects against age-related brain changes. The psychological benefits of strength training are equally important. A meta-analysis published in Sports Medicine found that resistance training significantly reduces symptoms of depression and anxiety in older adults. This occurs partly through the release of endorphins during exercise, but also through improved self-efficacy and confidence that comes from increasing physical capabilities. Starting strength training doesn't require heavy weights or complex equipment. Research published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research shows that bodyweight exercises, resistance bands, and light weights can provide significant benefits. The key is progressive overload, gradually increasing the challenge to your muscles over time. Even 20 minutes twice weekly can produce measurable improvements in strength, balance, and functional capacity within 8 to 12 weeks. Next, habit 5. Brain training. Neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to form new neural connections, doesn't decline with age as dramatically as once believed. Research published in Nature Neuroscience shows that older adults can create new brain cells and strengthen existing neural pathways through targeted mental stimulation. This discovery fundamentally changed how we approach cognitive aging and brain health. The most effective brain training involves novel, challenging activities that require sustained attention and working memory. A landmark study published in the New England Journal of Medicine followed 469 adults over 75 for 5 years, tracking their engagement in mentally stimulating activities. Those who regularly read, played board games, played musical instruments, or danced had a 63% lower risk of developing dementia compared to those who engaged in these activities infrequently. Cross-training your brain with diverse mental activities creates cognitive reserve, a buffer against age-related brain changes. Research from the Columbia University Medical Center shows that individuals with higher cognitive reserve can maintain normal function even when brain scans reveal significant age-related changes. This suggests that mental stimulation creates backup neural pathways that compensate for damaged areas. Learning new skills is particularly powerful for brain health because it requires the formation of entirely new neural networks. A study published in Psychological Science found that older adults who learned photography and quilting showed improved memory performance compared to those who engaged in familiar activities. The key is that the activities must be sufficiently challenging to push your cognitive boundaries. The social component of mental stimulation amplifies its benefits. Research published in Neurology found that older adults who engaged in mentally stimulating activities with others had the greatest protection against cognitive decline. This occurs because social interaction adds emotional engagement and motivation, which strengthens memory formation and recall. Whether it's joining a book club, taking a class, or learning a new language with a partner, combining mental challenge with social connection creates optimal conditions for brain health. Next, habit 6, whole food nutrition. The Mediterranean diet has been studied more extensively than any other eating pattern for its effects on aging and longevity. The landmark PREDIM study, involving over 7,400 adults at high risk for cardiovascular disease, found that those following a Mediterranean diet had a 30% reduction in major cardiovascular events over just 4.8 years. But the benefits extend far beyond heart health. Research published in Alzheimer's and Dementia shows that adherence to a Mediterranean-style eating pattern is associated with slower cognitive decline and reduced risk of Alzheimer's disease. The mechanism involves multiple pathways. Omega-3 fatty acids from fish reduce inflammation in brain tissue. Antioxidants from colorful vegetables protect against oxidative stress. And polyphenols from olive oil and nuts support healthy blood flow to the brain. The inflammatory connection between diet and aging is particularly compelling. Chronic low-grade inflammation, measured by markers like C-reactive protein, accelerates aging processes throughout the body. Studies published in the Journal of Nutrition show that diets high in processed foods, sugar, and refined carbohydrates significantly increase inflammatory markers, while whole food diets rich in plants, fish, and healthy fats reduce inflammation by up to 40%. Micronutrient density becomes increasingly important as we age because our bodies become less efficient at absorbing and utilizing nutrients. Research from the National Institute on Aging shows that adults over 60 need higher levels of certain vitamins and minerals, including vitamin D, B12, calcium, and magnesium, to maintain optimal function. Whole foods provide these nutrients in forms that are more bioavailable than synthetic supplements. The psychological relationship with food also impacts healthy aging. Studies published in Appetite show that people who view eating as nourishment rather than restriction have better long-term adherence to healthy eating patterns and lower levels of stress hormones. This mindset shift from deprivation to abundance, focusing on adding nutrient-dense foods rather than eliminating everything enjoyable, creates sustainable eating habits that support lifelong health. These 6 habits work synergistically, each amplifying the benefits of the others. Quality sleep enhances your body's response to exercise. Social connections motivate you to maintain healthy behaviors. Brain training improves your ability to make good nutritional choices. The compound effect of these practices creates exponential rather than linear improvements in your health and vitality. The research is clear. Aging well isn't about luck, genetics, or expensive interventions. It's about consistent, evidence-based daily practices that honor how your body and mind actually function. You have more control over how you age than you've been led to believe. Start with one habit that resonates most with you. Build it into your routine for 2 weeks before adding another. Remember, the goal isn't perfection, it's progress. Small, consistent actions compound over time to create extraordinary results. Your future self is counting on the choices you make today. Every walk you take, every conversation you have, every nutritious meal you eat is an investment in your independence, vitality, and joy in the years ahead. If this video was helpful, kindly type yes in the comment. That motivates us to produce more content like this. Subscribe to our channel for more evidence-based strategies for healthy aging, and share this video with someone you care about who's ready to transform their approach to getting older. Your journey to vibrant aging starts now.